What's up, you guys? I'm bored, not much to do. It's a Thursday. My next class isn't till like 5, and it's only like 2:40 now. So I decided I'm gonna make a shout out video for all my friends on Facebook saying at least one thing that I like about you, or may not like about you so much, or just a little something about you. Okay, I suppose it's probably best to start from the top of the list. Shout out to Jamie Cartledge, best mom in the world. I love you so much. Shout out to Courtney Starr. I've known you since 7th grade and stuff, and for some reason, like anytime I think of you, I remember you with your glasses on, even though you haven't worn those since like middle school. Shout out to Karina Dump. You're all cool and stuff. I still remember when me, you, and David and Kendall sat in the stall, or not the stall, sat in the booth at lunch in 7th grade. Shout out to Ryan Maurer. Didn't really know you much before senior year, but me and you got pretty cool in Copa's class. Shout out to Bailey Cartledge, my only sister, so I have to say you're the best sister that I have. Shout out to Jennifer Lemon Forbes. Hope you have a good delivery and I love you so much. Shout out to Marilyn Smith. You're all cool and stuff, just chilling up in AI, and I miss you. Shout out to John and Nicole Cartledge, my aunt and my uncle. Country folk. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Zachary Everett, rocking that long hair. I don't have it anymore, I cut mine. Shout out to Anthony Boone, he always knew how to make us laugh. Shout out to Ryan Anthony Branham, he's going to be serving our country soon. Shout out to Jeannie Cartledge, my grandma. I could talk to her to just about anything. Shout out to Daniel Shelp. We're chill and stuff. We always have been. We always will be. Shout out to Alyssa Gale. I still remember just hanging out, chilling and talking in Miss Gibson's class. Those were the times. Shout out to Billy Conway. I remember when you used to just live right down the road, and I'd walk over to your house or you walk over to my house and just chill. Shout out to Maddie Robb, my cousin. I see her like once a year at the family reunion, so what's up? Shout out to Roger Miller. You're a pretty good teacher and stuff. I'm gonna miss you. Shout out to Justin Grimm. Paul. That's the year always gonna be remembered like that, Paul. Shout out to Zach Kane. You were in homeroom with me all 4 years. We were cool and stuff. I'm gonna miss you. Shout out to Matt Hart, known you since 7th grade. We've always been pretty cool. Shout out to Kristen Moore, made the bus ride home a little more entertaining every day. Shout out to Adija Battle, although I don't really need to shout out to her because she's right here on campus with me. So that's cool. Shout out to John Urette, tallest guy I knew. Shout out to Desiree Smith, you're a pretty cool mom. You're all chill and stuff. Shout out to Darius Moultrie. You made accounting pretty fun. Shout out to Taylor Harrell. I only knew you for like a couple weeks in culinary arts, but you seem pretty cool. Shout out to Megan Webb. You always, like to goof off, and, well, not really goof off, but you were a little goofy and you always made me laugh. Shout out to Kitty Smallwood. I'm gonna miss you. I don't know, it was just see your smile, you running up, hey! I'm gonna miss that. Shout out to Justice Brown. It's just cool and stuff, I like to hang. Shout out to John Randall. I don't know, I didn't know you too well, I guess, but I'm gonna miss you all the same. Shout out to Mike and Primo. Same with Kristen, you made the bus ride home just a little bit more entertaining. Shout out to Garrett LaCroix, I think maybe. We were in the same daycare in 5th grade. Shout out to Aunt Kitsy, my relative. You're cool and stuff. Shout out to Ian Brock. You made the high school life just a little more entertaining. Shout out to Devin Jacobs. You always like to joke around and stuff, and you're cool. I'm gonna miss you. Shout out to Brittany Lyles. You made life just a little more entertaining in Miss Gibson's class too. I'm gonna miss that. Shout out to Franz Gillespie. I'm gonna miss your jokes and stuff. I'm gonna miss, I don't know, I'm gonna miss you. Shout out to Sabrina Dickey. Didn't really know you much either, but you were in the little circle that I stood in the morning, and we just talked and chilled. Shout out to Richard Alston. He made the Academy of Finance a little more entertaining. Shout out to Chris Shepard. Decided to take my house after I moved out of it. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Miss Pipkin. You were pretty cool. I remember you from 7th grade. Shout out to India. You know how to be loud, proud, and exciting. Shout out to Max Hahn. Pretty cool. Like, I don't know, I like you. You're alright and stuff, so you're like a cool mom's boyfriend. Shout out to Philip Campbell. You made life in the Academy of Finance a little more fun. Shout out to Tia Burke. I remember you and Chris all over each other in classes and stuff. Well, not really all over each other, but you guys make a cute couple and stuff. Shout out to Vicky Widner. You rode my bus. You were pretty cool. I remember we hung out a little bit in 8th grade. Shout out to Jordan Hill. You went from that tiny guy in middle school to the big football player that we all know today. Shout out to Zarina Colston. I only knew you like 1 semester, but you're pretty cool. Shout out to Courtney Starr. Known you since 7th grade. Still remember you with glasses on. Shout out to Becker. You're just always going to be known as the guy who hit the bus. Shout out to Elazor Torres. I didn't really know you much like that, but you're on my friends list, so you're on my shout out thing. Shout out to my cousin Mary Lockamy. Pretty cool. I hope everything goes good in December when the baby's due, or whenever it's due. Shout out to Gagne. I'm glad you graduated when you did. Shout out to Nate Washington. You were in the circle too. It was always cool to hang around. Shout out to John Norman. Here in Culinary Arts. Made it a little bit funner. Shout out to Jenny Gahagan. We argued a lot, but we got along sometimes too. Shout out to Megan Kemp. You're pretty cool. I didn't really know you much, but shout out to Sierra Todd. Ditto. And Katie Morris. Ditto. Shout out to Connie Smith. Like, I knew you in the middle school and stuff, but I didn't really see you much in high school. So, you know, but still. Shout out to JP Newman. You made classes a little more exciting as well. Pretty funny, pretty chill. Shout out to Erica Jernigan. I knew you in like middle school. You were pretty chill. Shout out to Asia Serrano. You're pretty cool. Like, I don't know much to say about some of these people. Shout out to Brittany Shoemaker. You made Madame Koba's French class a little more interesting. Shout out to Chris Jones. You and Tia, like I said. Class couple, definitely. Shout out to Jaquan Stinson. Chilling up here with me at UNCP. Shout out to Courtney Knutson. Knutson, maybe? I don't know. I just remember you as the blonde Courtney, and you're pretty cool. Made Vanderlass's class a little more interesting. Shout out to Zaina. You were always pretty. Zaina Phoenix, you were pretty cool. Made life a little more interesting at school too. Shout out to Scott Schultz. Didn't really know you like that, but I heard you were pretty cool. You're on my friends page, so shout out to Joshua Goodwin. What's up, man? Life with you was pretty cool. Shout out to Ronald Andy Morris. Love just hanging out. Me and Marilyn and Courtney would just mess with you in Columbo's class. Shout out to Chris Shepard. Well, there's a lot of people that have a lot of different pages. Shout out to Chris Shepard. Moved into my house after I moved out of it. Shout out to Diamond Bias. You're always full of energy and stuff. Shout out to Jason Schuler, my uncle. I miss you. I hope you can come down again soon. Shout out to Jasmine Roas. Made life a little more interesting. Shout out to my second cousin Mark Robb. See you at the family reunion. Shout out to Chris Fisher. You're just funny, man. Shout out to Joyce Shaw. Didn't really know you much, but like, you were all cool and stuff. And shout out to Tim Jones. Like, led us to the church that we used to go to and then moved away. I miss you. You're pretty cool. Shout out to Preston or Manic. You always make class funny, man. Like you can go to a class with you in it and not, have to laugh at some point. Shout out to William Ellis. You're pretty cool. You moved away and stuff, but we all miss you. Shout out to Dylan Justin. You made lunchtime a little more entertaining. We're getting there. Shout out to Ben Reese. Pretty cool. We didn't really hang out much, but same with a lot of people. You're on my friends list, so you gotta go on this. Shout out to Liam McKee, one of my friends that lives over in my grandma's neighborhood. You're pretty cool. Shout out to Tori Byers. You made culinary arts a little more interesting. Shout out to Nikki Ellis. We all missed you guys after you moved away. Shout out to Jonathan Pierce, who was actually gonna be my roommate or my suite mate, but he's not starting until the spring. Shout out to Trevez Manor, always knew how to make me laugh. Shout out to Stormy Gallagher, most blonde hair I knew. Shout out to Kyle Jones. Whoa, what's up, man? Miss you. Shout out to Ryan Lett. You moved away a couple years ago, but we all miss you. Shout out to David Schuler, my dad, best dad in the world. Shout out to Miss Harriet Horner. She was my English teacher freshman year. Shout out to Hannah Rhodes, who knows my brother better than me. Shout out to James J.D. Forbes, my uncle. You're cool. Maybe we can hang sometime when I come back in town. Shout out to Nathan John, my littlest brother. It's pretty cool. Shout out to James Sarnaski. We didn't get along sometimes, but sometimes we did. Shout out to my cousin Frankie Lockley. What's up, Frankie? Maybe I'll see you this weekend. Shout out to Joshua King. Always knew how to make me laugh. Shout out to Zaire Zaragoza. Didn't really know you much like that, but you're on my friends list, so yep. Shout out to Kevin Davis. You're pretty funny. Shout out to Demas DeBolt. You were in my 5th grade class and my 6th grade class. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. I don't know if you knew that. Shout out to Haley. Pretty cool. Didn't really know you like that, but you're in the AOF and you made it a little more interesting. Shout out to Gregory Taylor. You're the only really person who lived near me before you moved away. Shout out to Matt Hart, who made life a little more interesting in middle school. I swear these people are on here like 12 times. Shout out to Adam Todd, pretty good baseball player and stuff. Shout out to John Branham, who I learned the very end of this year is Branham's little brother. So, yep. Shout out to O'Shea, made life on the bus a lot more fun. Shout out to Ryan McKee, pretty cool, lives over in my grandma's neighborhood. Shout out to Daniel Lerner. We're pretty cool and stuff. We didn't talk much, but had that mutual relationship, I guess. And shout out to Michael Robb, my second cousin. Peace. Shout out, video out.